Welcome to Dime to Diamonds. I'm Suzanne Porsky.
And I'm Mark Farquhar. This is being brought to you by Phoenix Financial Group, your pathway to financial success.
Phoenix Financial Group provides full service solutions for all your financial needs.
We aim to be your comprehensive financial services provider, offering everything you need in one place.
Welcome back to Dime to Diamonds. I am Suzanne Porsky with Phoenix Financial Group.
I'm Mark Farquhar, Phoenix Financial Group.
I'm Rochelle Harp with Harp Accounting.
Welcome back, guys.
Good to see you all.
Yeah, see you too.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, we're getting kind of nice weather out there.
Feels
Hey,
nice and cool.
stock market this last couple weeks.
Crazy.
It's been quite the ride.
It's been something else. I think it sent some people into a panic.
Right. And that's why I tell people, hang on, don't do anything in life, period. Don't make decisions in the storm. But when it's your whole life savings, and a lot of our clients are living off of that because they're not working, they're retired,
Right.
and they're getting a percentage of their balance to live off of. And now it's went down. One of the blogs, one of the new blogs on our website, phx.financial, it's Financial's website under blogs, we have a new blog on AI and how it is affecting investments as well as the world. I know we've got some, pretty strong opinions on AI either way. I'm just going to start off by saying, as I was telling you earlier before we started today, this is probably one of the few times where that market has done what it's done. And I've thought, everybody needs to just sit and wait. AI is working. It's looking over. It's monitoring it.
Trends,
Yes.
data.
Your ETFs, and I am not endorsing any one ETF or any one investment, any of that, but in a whole, just chill. Because we don't just have people that are making those decisions anymore, but we have the artificial intelligence that is making those decisions, and they're hovering over and looking at it where
Right.
long ago when I started, it was mutual funds. And
Right.
so you had mutual fund managers that were constantly trying to figure out what the next best trend is, which is not bad. I'm glad we had it. ETFs look at the mutual fund trends and everything else that's going on. And then it helps us ride that ship, and it does come back. So,
Well, and the predictive power that AI provides, being able to analyze such large amounts of data all at once, that's something a human couldn't do in real time.
Right.
And that's one of the advantages of having AI and using it in situations like this, is it is
Right.
able to take in so much data and give you real-time answers where when it was the humans,
Yeah.
they were analyzing it, but it took
us a
them
lot of
so
time,
long
yeah,
to
right.
get there
Right.
that
Stuff
people had
can
moved on, right?
Compute years and years worth of data in
Correct.
seconds. So it's
and
pretty
the
interesting.
algorithms are all being done, and we do sleep and we do eat and we do other things, but AI doesn't. It is. How excited are you about AI, Mark?
I think it's pretty neat. I mean, you've got the apps now that
Chat
you know,
GPT
yeah, chat, that's
helps
pretty
us
cool.
articulate our
Yeah,
words a
yeah,
little bit
like
better.
what's another way to say this, and it'll help you do that. That's really neat. If you want to know something pretty quick, it's just amazing. Like you could tell it. We were doing a thing. I don't know if I showed y'all, but you go, hey, write a story about Suzanne going to the beach, and then they went to a dance, and it'll write a whole story on it in like 10 seconds. It's interesting. You got to try it. It's fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
tried
funny.
it that way.
Yeah, we do at the house. We said write a story about one of the kids, and I'll do it, and it sits there and just writes like a huge story. Like,
But would you get in a car that was AI? Backseat, go take a nap?
No, I don't want to do that. It's like an elevator.
The backseat or the AI driven car?
Might get stuck.
That's what the deal is, the elevators. It's the machine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have a person.
Would you get in an airplane that was AI? I know the answer. You don't get an airplane when it's a human. So I know in portfolio management and like we've said, and there's so many areas where it does add a level of, whether we like it or not, it's here, and some stability and some direction. And I think in moderation.
Yeah. Well, and so in my industry, in the accounting industry, it's really helpful in the fact that it's able to do some of the data entry. It's able to do some of the reconciliation. So this is a feature that took a human a long time. It took up a lot of time where now we're able to focus more on value added aspects of the business and let the computer do that with human checks, right? We always have to go in and make sure that it didn't throw a wild horse out there and say, something like that happens. But so there's that nice piece, as well as the fraud detection. And I think you're seeing that and people don't realize it. But when your credit card says, hey, does this look suspicious? It has learned and been tracking your spending habits and your tipping percentages and different things. And it knows when you do something out of the ordinary. It identifies anomalies really quickly. And so there's some definite benefits to AI and how it's being used currently.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
From a human perspective, I think there's always going to be a human element, right?
Right.
AI can do a lot. It can learn and it can grow, and that's what we want. But there's always going to have to be a check and balance. There's always going to have to be a human that says, "Does this make sense?"
As long as we,
Are still
we're the
involved.
ones, we don't get too dependent
You rely
on it
too
to where
much
we
on
let
it,
it do what
right.
it wants to do. Because anyway,
I love it with my QuickBooks because I have my meals and entertainment category, and so over the years, as I have went to different places, it knows. And I could go to the same place, but if it's at a different time, it has a check mark for me to verify if I really wanted meals and entertainment. Was it with a client? Did I discuss business, or was it pleasure?
Yeah.
And it knows the amount. So that totally resonates when you talk about that, because it does make it easier for me to reconcile every month on the credit card statements and the checking account statements.
And then simple stuff like I notice if you get in your car, my car, if it's in the morning, it goes to Main Street, Broken Arrow. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to the football field for practice. It like knows.
It's where you should.
My car is way too old.
It brings up my map on. So we were going to football yesterday. It brings it up, says Union High School, and I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. Like it knows my habits.
It's a little concerning. It might know your habits better than your wife.
It does.
Just a person. I'm asking for a friend. Does it just turn on at 2 o'clock in the morning? You go to QT for a.
Yeah. I have to go get a Diet Dr. Pepper. Car.
All of a sudden you hear the car start up.
And yeah.
You know what's funny though, when you talk about that, because of my alarm system in the house, it knows our patterns. So it says your door is open at an unusual time.
Oh yeah, that's all AI.
Okay, so I didn't realize it was like in all those places. Yeah. Do you have Alexa in your house?
Oh yeah, it's listening to us all the time, probably.
I'm not there yet.
We don't have an Alexa either.
You don't?
But the phone sometimes does stuff. I mean, how many times have you been talking with someone about something and the next thing you go is you go on Facebook or you go on to a website.
There's an ad on it.
And there's an ad on what you were just discussing.
Yep. Well, there's marketing packages for that. I don't know if y'all know that. Like a marketing person approached me and part of they have all the, the ordinary stuff like you can run ad on Facebook and that stuff. But they have an ad or they have a program where if it's a hospital and you're selling long-term care or something like that, it'll ping those people's phones your ad.
Because they're in that hospital.
Yeah. If it hits a certain area, then it'll ping their phone with your ad. But that stuff there, that's interesting. I think it hears what you're talking about or what you're searching. We know what you're searching. We've known that, but it is interesting because I think our phones listen to us because we had a discussion about something. And then, we were talking about our bathroom. We were getting our bathroom done. And we were talking about our bathroom, me and Kim. And the next thing it said, 1 day showers. And I'm going, what? It's interesting.
On the blog, as I'm kind of reviewing it here while we're talking, it talks in there in the earlier years, like in California, there was a company that if anybody had a conversation about coming out during the gold rush, they sold picks and shovels. And that's kind of what we've evolved to with AI. Right. It's listening. And so there's companies out there that, like you're saying, paying for that information. Yeah. I can't stress enough that the importance of AI, but come in and talk to real people,
right?
Like talk to people, our staff in our office. We are going to bring that personal touch to it because you're not telling it all your thoughts and feelings. It might be saying, oh, they're talking about these investments. Is this where they want to go? When you might be asking those questions, but we know the bigger picture of you want generational wealth or you want to do a certain move at a different time, or health or any of that. So as much as it's really important and it's really helpful, I think they still need personal touch.
And they need the emotional aspect, right? It's only analyzing data, numbers, algorithms, trends.
Right.
It's looking at that, so it's not
It never
able
has
to
the
apply
emotional
that emotional
part of the human
Correct.
being. Yeah,
Yes. Just kind of touching over all
Alyssa
of the
figures that out later.
your emotions,
It
saying,
is
"Hey,
ever learning.
sounds like you're
So-
having a rough day. Do you need a Diet Dr. Pepper
I need a Dutch Brothers coffee.
or Dutch Brothers?"
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you can't replace it with the personal touch, our expertise, our
Right.
experiences as real people.
Yeah.
One of the areas I know we wanted to talk on today also, and it's not AI related, but they will hear you talk about long-term care, and then you'll get all kinds of information on long-term care. You and I both having older parents.
Mm-hmm.
We went through that long-term care and how it applied and how it didn't apply and the importance of it.
Right.
What have you most recently, Mark, discovered with long-term care?
Well, back in the day, early 2000s, late 90s, they had long-term care policies, and they have them now, but they were really good. They were affordable and they paid
Right.
out. Didn't have any problem with them. We had a lot of clients that had the old policies, worked like clockwork. But now what you run into is,
Can I tell you time out real quick?
Yeah.
I know with the policies I saw, they had to be institutionalized for
Right.
90 days before it kicked in.
well, yeah, that's
There's
the
our
big kicker.
generation that
Yeah.
doesn't want to be
Everybody wants
institutionalized.
to
We
go
want home health care.
Right, right.
So that was
Because I don't know if you've been in, they try to make them nice, but it's just not.
it's still not home.
Right. It's not home. And, but
Today's policies.
today they're expensive. They go up. They're not locked in. They go up. I mean, the rates go up. And so what you have is people on fixed income trying to afford these policies. And
Right.
They paid on them for so long. And then sometimes they can't afford them. Then they just lose it all. Like they just have to let it go and don't use it. But then you run into, well, I can't stay in my house. I don't have any. Then you have to get it approved. That's a whole nother deal too. Getting you approved to go in the facility. That's a
Right.
whole process within itself too. We've had clients that had to sue insurance companies because they wouldn't approve. I had met with one last week where her dad went in, they had a long-term care policy and they denied going into the facility, and they had to take, she had to get a lawyer and take them to court and all that. So there's new ways that we have in our services company. They've come out with better products, I think, personally.
I love it.
Yeah.
When those investment products that we educate our clients on
Right.
have that built in to it, that if they can't do 2 out of the 6 ADLs, that they will take that payment and double
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to qualify. You don't have to go into an institution for X amount of days or
Right.
any of that. You just have to have a physician sign a statement
And then
saying you can't do 2 out of the 6.
Yeah. And then you do whatever you want. You can go pay your little granddaughter to take care of you, or you can take one of your daughters. You can. We have a client that has annuities that have the riders.
Mm-hmm.
She turned those on, and she has a full-time caretaker and a nurse that comes part-time, and she uses that.
You can use the money
More
however
money,
you
yeah,
want. It's
however you
not
want.
going to the
Right,
facility.
right.
It's going into your checking account for you
Right.
or whoever has, say, if there's a durable power of attorney on
If
there.
you need a hot tub, because
Right.
it makes you,
Feel
then
better.
you can go buy it with the money. There's no restrictions on it. So,
Right.
but
And then there's other policies that are strictly long-term care policies
Right.
that you were talking to me about. How do those work?
you just pay. It gives you a per day amount for the facility. Pays X amount per day. And
What
then
if you never
pay a
use
premium.
it? My dad
You
passed
lose it.
away
I
unexpectedly.
mean, you lose that. That's the thing here in a minute. We get into all this different product and all that. That product, you don't have anything in return. If you lose it, you paid that money in,
Yes.
and you don't see it again. So, new ways. Insurance, life insurance, even term policies now have benefits where if you lose 2 of your daily activities, you can pull from the death benefit early. So if you have a $500,000 policy, if you lose 2 of your 6 daily activities, then you can start pulling the death benefit early, using that however you wish to do it. Chronic illness, they have that. If you get cancer, you can start doing that. And then you get in your long-term care where you have life insurance, and then you have annuities. The life insurance, you purchase a life insurance policy. So let's say you do 100,000, you put it in this life insurance policy, and it's going to pay you 300,000 over a period of time. And let's say you lose 2 of your 6 daily activities, it'll pay you up to 300,000 of benefit.
Okay.
They just have they'll do an illustration to say it'll pay you this out for six to 8 years, and then but you're getting something in return for your money.
Right.
You're putting in 100, but you're going to get 300. If you don't use it, you still have the cash value in the life insurance that you can use for yourself, or it goes as a death benefit to your beneficiaries. So you
Right.
get something in return if you don't use it. The annuities are a little different.
Yeah.
You can use that. We have clients that use it for retirement, and they have a rider on it. If they lose 2 of their daily activities, it doubles the income that the annuity provides, and they can use that however they want. And that goes on for 6 years. So you can turn the lifetime income on. Let's say you're 65, you turn the lifetime income on, and it's $2,000 a month. Something happens, you lose 2 of your daily activities. It's going to go to $4,000 a month for 6 years. And after the 6 years, it'll revert back to the $2,000 a month for however long
Right.
you
Because
live.
people normally don't, they either transition
Right.
or they get healthy.
Yeah, that's part of the formula. Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't, it's sitting there if you need it, but if you don't use it, you're not losing any money. You know what I'm trying to say? You're still, it's
Right.
not pulling a premium out. It's not pulling a monthly cost out anyway. So,
And how does that work on taxes, depending on how the income comes in from that?
Yeah, so it depends on how the income comes in. So anytime it's a life insurance policy payout, that's non-taxable, right? And then from the annuity side, it would just depend on how
depending
it
on what
was
it's
written.
right.
But when we're looking at like long-term care, that's something you definitely always want to go and talk to your tax individual about, because as always, it
Everything's
depends.
different. Yeah.
But long-term care, there is some credits for that. So people who have had that, they need to talk with their accountant to see if they're in that bucket to qualify for as an expense, as a reduction to their taxable income. If it comes out non-taxable, then you're not going to get the credit. But it just depends. So it's always a good opportunity to go and talk to your
Usually the
your
life
person.
insurance policies is treat like it says it's pulling death benefits, so that's non-taxable. So it just depends.
Right,
You
because
need
I tell
talk to
people to
your-
make sure, because and I'll take this into supplemental benefits, which I am a big proponent of. On supplemental benefits from an employer, I always say take that life insurance and the disability and make those payments after tax, because then you're not taxed. But if you're doing it pre-tax, then your benefit is going to be taxed.
Correct. That is correct.
These are the nuances that we know. So I encourage people. It doesn't cost anything to talk to us. We love to share our knowledge and our years of
Right.
experience to help you navigate so much easier, so much better. And yes, on that long-term care, people either love it or hate it. And now we've got products where it is built into so many things, like you
Right.
said, life insurance, that talk to us, come in, set an appointment, and or attend one of our workshops and possibly get your answers there. But I think it's so individual, absolutely individual in there. I do want to talk about supplemental benefits because we're getting into Q4 right now. Fourth quarter's coming up pretty fast.
Be here before you know it.
Oh my gosh, I just can't with all the Halloween decorations and Christmas stuff. I'm like,
I know.
let's
It's like too
finish
soon.
summer. But going into it, I can honestly say until probably about 10 years ago, didn't understand the importance of those accident policies, critical illness, cancer, hospitalization.
You've got some good cancer. I mean, just
It's
in the past year.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Yes. There's
really-
so many carriers out there. I think the one that most people know about is Aflac, the duck.
Yep.
If you can't get it anywhere else, they're definitely a good company to get through. There are companies that you can only get it through an approved employer. Allstate is one of those. And that's when I met that portion of this in 2017 when I was introduced to their benefits. And again, it's only through approved employers. They have loss mitigation, so they're not going to let certain industries offer those benefits to their employees, but it comes out pre-tax. So what does that do to their paycheck when those premiums are coming out pre-tax?
It's going to be taxed.
Yes, and so it reduces what they're being taxed on their paycheck, right?
Now, yes.
So
today,
supplemental benefits, accident, cancer, critical illness, and those are the most specific ones. The benefits are never taxed on those. Those seem to be a loophole. I don't know, that government hasn't got a hold of, because Allstate or American Heritage Life, Aflac, Colonial, all these companies, that I know of do not report the benefit that they pay out to that client. So for my employers, I tell them, make sure to offer these benefits, because I had one, I said, just let me talk to your employees and let's see if it makes a difference. It doesn't cost you anything except for about 10 minutes of your employee's time. It reduced his tax liability because we had such a successful enrollment that it reduced how much he had to pay in taxes.
Correct. His portion, the employer's portion.
The employer, because the employer has to match what the employee is paying, correct? So the employee is paying less in taxes because these are coming out than the employer. And he's like, where's this been all these years? This is absolutely fantastic. Then his employees that were getting hurt on the job and otherwise, because it's 24/7, 365, they returned to work quicker.
Yeah.
And they weren't playing the workman comp game.
Right.
Because they're like, okay, well, I just fell out of my concrete truck because a wasp was around my, I'm not kidding. I got stories for days. Stung him, and then he did his whole gyration out of the concrete truck and fell out and then hurt himself. And they said, wow, the turnaround was great because he got to file, and we do that in our office. We
get money immediately, so they're going to go.
Within 24 to 48 hours. Their workman's comp was real quick and short because the guy wasn't trying to milk it and didn't have to be off work and going to doctor's appointments and workman comp doctors. He got back in the truck and was able to work. So the employer found that it was the employees paying for it. It's reducing their taxes, and his employees are coming back quicker and their workman comp claims went down, which their workman comp premiums go down. Isn't that just amazing?
Yeah, it is.
And then the critical illness and cancer. I know during COVID, a lot of people that were on that medication, it attacked the kidneys, and so they had kidney dialysis. And that's a lump sum on some of those policies of $10,000, totally tax-free. You know, and you are put on kidney dialysis. I think it's called end-stage renal failure, and that is paid out. And then cancer. How many people do we know? And those are super hard to find these days, but those benefits, again, are paid out totally tax-free, and the premiums are taken out pre-tax. But let's circle back around when we do, whether it's long-term care or it is life insurance and you do pre-tax, those benefits are taxed if you didn't pay money, if you didn't pay the taxes on the premiums to pay for it, correct?
The interest is,
yes. So all those interesting nuances to that. Another little thing on the supplemental benefits is that so many people can take those into retirement with them. They're portable.
Right.
And, nice. You know, that's usually about the time we start falling. We aren't as agile as we once used to be, you know, and it helps protect the paycheck.
Yeah.
It helps protect the savings accounts for time off of work.
And those premiums don't go up, do they?
Nope.
It's amazing.
I had a gentleman that unfortunately cut his thumb off the other day at work. And I said, okay, so what are they doing? Are you know, how long are you off work? That's another thing on your disability, on short-term disability. Have those premiums taken out after so you can receive the benefits of that and not pay taxes on it. He said, no, I'm going back to work tomorrow, ma'am. And he said, you know, I'll get paid for this accident policy. And then if I have to have surgery, I have to be off work. It's kind of a built-in short-term disability kind of to make up for that. And you were at a company the other day. Were you talking to him about supplemental benefits?
Yeah. They were, he's trying to find a way to,
the owner of the company?
The owner of the company is wanting to find a way to retain
better
his
employees.
So, but you know, the health insurance is very expensive. So this is kind of an alternative, looking at this as an alternative.
One of my biggest favorite accounts, they offset the ever increasing cost of healthcare. They put the higher deductibles and really encourage their employees to get the plans.
Right.
And especially like hospitalization and stuff like that. They can have a $5,000 deductible if that's, yes, if you've got a hospitalization plan.
We're seeing more of that too, where they're doing the big major medical deductibles, and then they're coming in with the supplemental policies.
Yes.
And it makes it cheaper for them.
Yes.
Rather than doing the $500 or even $1,000 deductible.
Yes, and it offsets it,
Mhm.
it helps, and that's where, I encourage employers. There's
Yeah.
enough of our clients that want to hire good
Mhm.
employees and retain good employees to have a really nice, benefit suite, and we do lunch and learns where we come out, the 3 of
Yeah.
us, and talk to the employees about their
Mhm.
taxes, any questions that they might
Right.
have. Insurance, life insurance, we get a lot of
Yeah.
questions about that where they just don't have the time because they're working.
There's so much to, I mean, there's just so much items. Taxes is its own animal. There's so many different, uh,
Different
moving parts
yeah.
and everything, and it depends on the person. So I just say how, come in and talk to us because you can do it all
Right.
under one roof rather than going to 3 or 4 different people. That's what I tell people, come talk to us because I think we can really help you.
And then in our
Uh,
general conversations, that's where stuff comes up and they go, "Oh, I didn't even think about
mhm.
that." And even today here at the studio, we were talking, and there's a lot of people that don't just have one job and they
Right.
have a couple of other things that they do, or they've
Yeah.
made a hobby as another stream of income,
Right.
and they might be losing out on some tax benefits by doing that.
Correct.
If the portion of their home is used to sustain that business,
Mhm.
correct?
That is correct. There's always opportunities when you're doing self-employment incomes. So doing a hobby that you're trying to make money or having a side job where you're getting a 1099. There's a lot of expenses that go with that, driving your car, you can have a home office, storage units, anything that is a legitimate business expense is an opportunity to mitigate or reduce your taxable income. So it's great to go in, be financially
Yeah.
organized, have all of that information in one spot, um, but go in and talk with somebody and say, hey, am I actually taking all of the benefits or all the reductions that I can? Because a lot of times there's one offs that people aren't realizing,
Mhm.
such as if you have self employment and you are paying for your insurance, sometimes that can be brought over as a health premium that you're paying for from your business. So it's one of those you gotta see the whole picture so that you can identify which buckets items can fall into.
Right. And supplemental benefits, you can, if you've got people that work for you, I think it's 2 lives, sometimes it's 3, and then you can get those they don't have to stay on the whole time, it's just to qualify for it. Then you can get those supplemental benefits and then keep them, and, you can go from
Another
there.
thing on the supplemental, it doesn't interfere with your regular health
Has
policy.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with it.
So I mean, even though you're getting money from the that plan,
Insurance,
it's not going to mess anything up with your
they do
affect
not
your
even
deductible
talk
or
to each
nothing.
other.
Right. Right.
They do not talk to each other at all. It's kinda reminds me of when you buy an appliance anymore,
Mm-hmm.
Costco or otherwise,
Right.
and they ask if you want the protection
Insurance.
plan, the
Right.
insurance, in case it breaks or you need some maintenance done on it. And I've done that. I filed a claim with that,
Mm-hmm.
and they send you the money, and it's not taxable. It's
Right.
not reportable anywhere, and it's the same thing on those supplemental
Right.
policies.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Right. So I tell people, just let's get your medical
Yeah.
records. A lot of people have those apps, like
Mm-hmm.
the My Charts, and let's get those downloaded and get that sent
Right.
over to the adjuster, the claims
And
adjuster,
that's easy too, right? I mean, your claims are within 24 hours
24 to
and
48
it's all on the
hours.
app.
Right. So if you are an employer and you are interested in knowing more about any of these products, we're not just Allstate. Like I said,
Right.
we are licensed to offer any products with any carrier. We just have our favorites that, and I think for me, a qualifying favorite is not only great premiums,
Mm-hmm.
great bang for their buck,
Right.
but
Service.
customer
Right.
service. I don't want to be saving somebody 15 cents a month and then I have to help them and sit on hold for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Right.
That drives me crazy. So cheap isn't always the best. I have a client right now that said, I want to shop around. I said, absolutely, shop rates, shop experience. There is nothing and nobody like the people in our office that give absolute excellent customer
Right.
service and go the extra mile to make sure. I think because we put ourselves in those people's
Mm-hmm.
positions and say, what would I want?
Right.
How would I want to be treated right now if I had a claim? Right now, I have quite a few clients that are fighting cancer.
Right.
And let's make this as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Let's get your claims filed and let's find a really good
The
system.
last thing you want to do is fight for that claim or wait on it. Like
Right.
you said, pay a few cents more and get is a lot
Excellent customer
better
service.
service. Yeah, meaning
Right.
you get your claims paid faster and more
Right.
efficiently.
And these individuals can focus on getting better.
Yeah, right.
And getting
and not
healthy.
worried about the financial side.
Right.
Take that out of the picture, and they can focus on getting better and feeling better.
That, and I'm super happy to report that holistic is being acknowledged, that they can go to a chiropractor or they can go to a holistic practitioner and
Right.
submit that, and that is acknowledged and paid, which is wonderful.
That is good.
I do have a funny story. I had a guy that not this part isn't funny. He sliced his foot open. So he took a picture of it and sent it to me, and I was like, well, this is definitely sliced. I need to know who you went and saw. Then he sent me a video of them stitching him up. And I was like, okay, this works. I need the name of the doctor. I need your name
Picture of
on
him.
there. Yeah. And then I started looking at the video close, and I was kind of zooming in, and it didn't look like a normal doctor's office. I submitted the claim. I helped him submit the claim. It got paid. And I said, where'd you go? My uncle. And I said, oh,
Vet?
he was a veterinarian.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
really?
Yes.
I was joking. I was like, oh
No,
my gosh.
only in Beggs, Oklahoma. Yeah, he went over there to the
Yellowstone.
vet. Yellowstone. Yeah, exactly. He went over to the vet, a licensed physician. That's all it takes.
Wow.
Got a tetanus shot.
I hope.
The horse needle.
I don't know, but yeah, he got sewed up. But yeah, so I mean, it's anything like that. So, and like I said, it's just usually pennies.
Yeah.
Compared to the coffees that are consumed every day, the Diet Dr. Peppers. So, well, if you guys don't have anything else, we have hit our 30-minute mark and want to wrap it up.
All right.
Inviting people to our office, to our website, to our workshops. Please contact us. Phone number, what's the 800 number? It's 844-476-7753.
Or phx.financial is our website.
Yes, they can reach us there. Rachel Harp at Harp Accounting.
That's right. So www.harpaccounting.com. Or you can call me on my phone. It's 918-346-4649.
We want to thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Dime to Diamonds. Again, I am Suzanne with Phoenix Financial Group.
Mark Farquhar, Phoenix Financial Group.
Rochelle Harp, Harp Accounting.
Have a great rest of your day and week. Bye. In closing, you have been tuned in to Dime to Diamonds, sponsored by Phoenix Financial Group, where we provide full service solutions for all of your financial needs. We do this through organization and offering you everything in one place.